Well, how's that hope and change working out for you, sweet pea? I have a multitudinous, plethorous, scatological smorgasbord of garbagistics for your ruminification. Stories tie together, you see. They tell you a little piece of a story here. They don't tell you about the other thing. And then somebody else tells you about the other thing on a totally different back channel, back time. Tells you some other batty bunch of facts and statistics. So fast and furious and from every different angle that you can never put together the real story. But this is what you have to be on the constant alert for, and you have to be able to put them together in some way, shape, or form that is probably not going to be too far from the real truth and whole truth. See, the omen out there in Martha's Vineyard playing golf with some fat guy, diddy bopping down the fairway like a pimp down the boulevard with a cane in his hand, checking on his bitches, you know. Notice that you have not, as of this time, seen one bit of footage of the Master of Washington, King of the World, 44th. He who must be obeyed, so it shall be written, so it shall be done. Oh, not quite so fast, your worshipfulness. Peace be upon him, asshole. You haven't seen his golf swing, man. Just like you only saw one example of his pitch on the opening pitch there to the Major League All-Star game. You didn't get to see where that landed. Just like you're not gonna get to see him swing, and you're not gonna be able to see where that landed either. Yeah. By the way, the fat guy that he was walking around there with playing golf, one of the bigwigs, if not the master main head bigwig in charge of UBS, the Swiss bank. The ones that allegedly kept all the gold that was ripped out of the Jews' teeth in the concentration camps. It was deposited there by the Nazis. You know, the Swiss being neutral and therefore a safe place to keep your money. Well, evidently it's not going to be too safe anymore, because the omen has requested that these banks give him a list of like 4,400 of the biggest depositors from the United States that they have on their account ledgers in their magnificent, munificent edifices there in Bern and Geneva and wherever else there's in Switzerland where they have Swiss banks. Well, his purpose for this list, he wants to supposedly find possible tax cheats that are depositing their money there that they should have used to pay taxes. It has never been done. That is one reason that the Swiss banks are popular, is because of their privacy. Nextly, the omen fires off a bunch of letters to a bunch of health insurance company executives inquiring as to their pay and compensation practices, seeking to uncover inefficiencies, supposedly he says, and looking to give advice on how to budget more effectively. See, he figures these companies really need his help in running and managing business better. It's just, don't you know, he's just the best and brightest that the world has had to offer us yet, bar none. First of all, who is the government to advise on more effective budgeting? And second of all, most of this info is probably available on the internet or down some endless corridor in some of the plethorous marble and granite monolithic megaliths that adorn the labyrinthine virtual spiderweb known as the overlapping federal bureaucracy. But oh yeah, we're talking about, hey, how silly of me, we're talking about efficiency and effectiveness, and him, the most high, most efficient, most effective, knows that he can simply, in his lofty throne from where he sits, can simply avoid all of that red tape that they keep on taxing us with, and just go straight to the top with a letter that delivers an intimidating paper cut or another to the jugular of a CEO of a large corporation. Smart move by the omen. There's probably more where that came from. So stand by, rich corporate executives of large corporations that the omen wants a piece of. And simultaneously, back at the Joker's lair, think of the Obama Joker face. The omen has managed to get the banking records from heretofore absolutely strictly confidential Swiss banks on the grounds that the account holders are tax evaders. Exactly like the omen's Treasury Secretary. So let's see, you got banking records, perhaps those of extremely rich health insurance company executives. And then you go look at their facts and figures and their numbers and their income, and you go on a little fishing expedition, as the Russians like to call it. Fish around until you catch something that appears to be an inconsistency. Something like an aircraft or a boat paid for with company money, used as company property, and used maybe just at least once on little iffy purposes, by the executives of that company for purposes just a little bit non-business-like in manner, along with someone maybe other than his wife. Well, that would just be icing on the cake, wouldn't it? Can you say blackmail? So, as in standard operation strategy for investigators on a fishing expedition, looking to gain more intel and building a case upon the information they have obtained thus far, they just invite him over, the exec, invite him over to their place for a little off-the-record interview. No sweat. You're free to go whenever you choose. Just answer a couple questions, sir. And they ask him stuff that they already know about the answers to be. And he gives answers pretty much as they expected, pretty much, for the most part. He answers one question with, maybe half of an inconsistency, however irrelevant it may seem. But the investigators have fished out more than they had before, getting this one little half of a discrepancy in the answer to a question that now they have more to go on, see? And it lends fuel to the fire. Anything you say can and will be used against you. Oh, at least they're going by the Constitution there. The healthcare executive, or any other corporate executive in this situation, will do whatever they want now. He's putty in their hands. He wants to stay out of the papers. He wants to stay out of the courtroom. He wants to stay out of trouble. He don't want to be made a spectacle, and he don't want to be made a scapegoat. He doesn't want to be made an example of. He doesn't want people to say, well, there's Wall Street greed, exploited for those purposes by lawmakers and bureaucrats who, commit the same acts, only, it's to promote the general welfare, so it's okay. Ain't it funny, by the way, how Bill and Hillary Clinton are spending vacation in Bermuda, an offshore banking haven, right? Allegedly, supposedly, purportedly, reportedly, interpretedly, assumedly on vacation, yes. Together, even. What if they're gonna dance with no music playing again like they did that one time? Back when he was president. At the same time, the omen is going after the records of offshore account holders. And then they'll be reined in while Hurricane Bill, yes, a different Bill, a Hurricane Bill, not a President Bill Clinton. But that's also more superstitious fuel to the fire to make things seem even creepier and curiouser and spookier. That's bound to damper their good time. I guess we won't see them dancing with no music. Like the omen says, man, don't get all wee-weed up. Although I have no real idea what it means. Doesn't sound complimentary. I guess the Obamas know what it means. It might be a, kind of thing like that. Know what I'm saying? Holmes.